Hi everybody, my name is María del Pilar Miranda Alcántara. I'm English teacher at CBT Isidro Fabel Alfaro and CBT2 Naucalpa. Today we are going to do a review modal verbs. Hi my dear students, good afternoon.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, teacher.
To begin our class, I'm going to show you where modal verbs are located inside our lesson plan. Modal verbs are located en la unidad número 2 del quinto semestre de inglés, donde los alumnos deberán reconocer y producir oraciones acerca de obligaciones, consejos y algunas predicciones, tanto de forma oral como escrita, en diferentes textos. But what is a modal verb? Ruby, could you help us, please?
Yes, we can use modal verbs for deduction, guessing, or suggestions if something is true using the available information. The modal verb we choose shows how certain we are about the possibility.
Thank you very much. And now we are going to watch a video where you are going to identify some characteristics and details. Please pay close attention. Rafa, could you help us, please?
Avance, muévase, señora, por favor.
Thank you very much. Can you tell me what happened there?
Eso pasó en la sala, maestra. Creo hubo 2 muertos.
Okay, yes, it was a horrible accident. And what happened there?
A truck that turned off the road.
Yes, thank you very much. Now, please, can you tell me what do you think about the bus driver? What happened to him?
El conductor tal vez se le olvidó checar los frenos esta mañana.
Puede ser. Yes, Jonathan, thank you. What else?
The bus driver was very fast.
Maybe he was driving so fast. Now, please, how could this kind of accident be avoided? Could be avoided?
El accidente se pudo haber evitado si hubieran hecho una revisión al camión antes de usarlo.
Yes.
The driver had to check brakes the bus.
Yes, thank you very much. Eso quizá podría haber ayudado a evitar el accidente. Now, we are going to play the video again, and please pay close attention to the people. What happened with the people? Rafa, could you help us, please?
Avance, muévase, señora, por favor.
Okay, what happened with the people?
Las personas deberían de haber ayudado.
Okay, Diego, please.
Las personas deberían desalojar el lugar.
Yes, thank you, Andy. Somebody else?
Yo creo que las personas deberían de llamar al 911.
Así es, en lugar de estar estorbando, ¿verdad? Muy bien, pues todas estas oraciones que ustedes han dado como sugerencias, como obligaciones, como algunas formas de decir qué deberían o no deberían de hacer las personas, se les llaman modals. Y hoy vamos a presentar los tres siguientes, que son must, have to, and should. These modals are going to be used for obligations or suggestion or advices. Okay, please. And you have to answer the following question. You are going to watch a video where you are going to find the answer for these questions. When do we use should, must, and have to? In which situations? And how do we form should, must, and have to in affirmative, negative, or interrogative form? You have to watch the video and then you have to take your notes. Don't forget, in your notebook, you have to write everything that is needed to be very easy for you to understand the topic. Okay? Please, Rafika, could you help us to play the video? Thank you.
Hi, I'm Kasia. Welcome to Oxford Online English. In this lesson, you can learn about the modal verbs must, have to, and should.
Do you know the difference between must, have to, and should? English learners often mix these three verbs. In this lesson, you can learn how to use must, have to, and should correctly in English.
Must and have to are both used to talk about obligations, things you cannot choose not to do. For example, we must talk to her before she leaves. I have to go into work early tomorrow. If you say, we must talk to her before she leaves, you mean that you think this is very important and you need to do it. When you say, I have to go into work early tomorrow, you mean that you have no choice. These are both obligations, but they're slightly different. Can you see how they're different?
The first obligation is more personal, which is why you use must. You feel that it's necessary and important to talk to her before she leaves. The obligation comes from you and your feelings. What about have to?
The second obligation is more situational, which is why you use have to. It's necessary to go into work early tomorrow, maybe because you have to meet a client or you have some important work to finish. The obligation comes from the situation, not from you. Let's see some examples. I must pay him back, like I promised. You made a promise, and now it's important to you personally to keep your promise and pay him back. He has to do a lot of homework every week. He needs to do a lot of homework because the school gives him a lot of homework.
It's rare to use must to talk about obligations in spoken English. Native English speakers use have to much more in conversation. However, you can use must to talk about obligations in formal or written English. For example, all passengers must have a valid ticket. Candidates must arrive no later than 5 minutes before the scheduled start time. Want an easy answer to this?
Here's an easy answer. Use have to when you speak. Using must to talk about obligations can sound very formal and strange in spoken English. If you use have to when you speak, you'll never be wrong. You can use must to talk about obligations in your written English if you're writing something more formal. This doesn't mean that you won't hear must in conversation. Actually, you'll hear it a lot. Why is this? Didn't we just tell you not to use must in spoken English?
It's because must has many other meanings too. Using must to talk about obligations is rare in spoken English. but you can use it for many other things. Okay, you've seen how must and have to are different. What about mustn't and don't have to?
Wait, what? We just talked about must and have to. Isn't this the same?
Not at all. Must and have to aren't exactly the same, but they are quite similar. However, the negatives, mustn't and don't have to, are completely different. Look at two sentences. Visitors must not touch the paintings. You don't have to be here before 10. Can you tell the difference?
Must not means that something is forbidden. You are not allowed to do this. If you're in a museum and the sign says, visitors must not touch the paintings, then don't touch the paintings. Don't have to means that something is not necessary. You can choose to do something or not. If we have plans and I tell you, you don't have to be here before 10, then you can be here before 10 if you want. You can come at 9, at 8, or whenever you want. It's your choice.
Let's see some more examples. Passengers must not talk to the driver while the bus is moving. It's forbidden to talk to the driver while the bus is moving. You aren't allowed to do this. You don't have to finish it today. You can finish it today if you want to, but you can also leave it until later if you want. It's your choice. Like must not is more common in formal or written English.
In spoken English, it's more common to use can't. For example, you might see a sign saying, mobile phones must not be used while driving. But if you were talking, you'd probably say, you can't use your mobile phone while you're driving. On the other hand, don't have to is common in both spoken and written English. So now you've seen the difference between must and have to. But what about should?
Remember that must and have to can be used to talk about obligations. Should is different. You use should to give advice or express your opinion. For example, you should go to bed earlier. Then you wouldn't feel so tired all the time. This is my advice. I think it's better for you to do this, but it isn't necessary. It's not an obligation, so you still have a choice. He should do more work if he wants to get promoted. This is my opinion. I don't think he needs to do it, and I don't necessarily care if he does this or not. You can't use should to talk about obligations or rules. When you say you should, you mean that the person has a choice. You're giving your opinion or some advice.
However, must can also be used to give advice. For example, you must try the fish. It's delicious. Actually, you can also use have to give advice. You could also say, you have to try the fish. It's delicious. Can you tell the difference between using should to give advice and using must or have to?
Giving advice with must or have to is stronger and more emphatic than giving advice with should. If you say, you should try the fish, this sounds quite neutral. But if you say, you must try the fish, or you have to try the fish, these sound much stronger. You're more excited about what you're saying. You really like that fish.
Thank you, Rafa.
Have to.
Okay, as you can watch, you have differences between must, should, and have to. Now, please, I'm going to ask you some questions. So, I hope you have paid attention, okay? Now, please, can you tell me when do we use should?
Should leave advice?
Okay, for advice, very good. Must, when do we use must?
Must is used to move when the obligation comes outside the
Yes.
speaker.
Very good. Obligation inside the speaker. Personal opinion. And have to.
Have to use for obligations.
Okay, have to for obligation when authority is going to tell you what to do. Very good. Now, please, we are going to review. Should, como lo dijeron sus compañeros, es para dar consejos o algunas sugerencias. For example, you should eat healthy food and do exercise 3 times a week. Only an advice. Must. Must es un poco más fuerte porque es una obligación, pero una obligación personal, que nadie más te está obligando a hacerlo. For example, I must remember to get a present for Daisy, because maybe it's her birthday. And have to, you have to use have to because it's an authority telling you. Es como una manera de obligarte a hacer algo. Cuando alguien más o una autoridad te pide que lo hagas. For example, do you have to wear a tie for school? Cuando alguien te pregunta, ¿y tienes que usar corbata para la escuela? Porque está en el reglamento. Your principal teacher and your teacher will be the authority in the school. Now, please, how are you going to form should, must, and have to in affirmative, negative, and interrogative verb? Well, the modal verbs are located at the beginning of a sentence where it is a question. But when you have an affirmative form, you have personal pronoun, modal, and verb. In negative form, you are going to write personal pronoun of subject, the modal verb in negative form, shouldn't in this case, and then the verb. And for question, I told you, it's at the beginning of the sentence, then personal pronoun and verb. Don't forget, all the verbs after modal verbs will be in infinitive form without to. What happened with must? Must, at the same like the should, you have at the beginning the noun, then you have to write the modal, and then you have to write the verb. When you have the negative form, you have the subject or pronoun, you have the modal negative form. In this case, you have must not, or in contraction, mustn't. After that, you have to write the verb in infinitive form. The interrogative is at the beginning, the modal verb, then you have the pronoun, after that, the verb in infinitive form without to. But you have here something special. With have to, you have to think about simple present, because third person, he, she, and it, have to becomes has to. And for the negative form, you have to use the auxiliaries, do or does. In this case, the third person, he, she, and it doesn't or do not have to. And for the negative interrogative form, you have to begin with the auxiliary, do or does, depend if you have third person. And don't forget to write at the end the question mark. Now, my dear students, you will have to write in the chat a sentence using a modal about the accident, the verb that you watch in the first video. In the chat, please, you have to write a sentence using must, or using should, or have to. Are you ready?
Yes, teacher.
We are going to write. Okay. Thank you, Diego. We are going to wait your sentences. Oh, you're very, very fast, your students. People, Rafa says, people should go away the place if they aren't going home. Thank you. Jonathan, he should check the machine before driving. Exacto, Jonathan debería checar su máquina antes de empezar a manejar. Las personas deberían de alejarse del lugar si no están ayudando o si no van a ayudar. Muy bien. Diego dice, the people must have called some to help services, que deberían de estar llamando al servicio, pidiendo ayuda. Sandra, people should clear the place to help the wounded, que deberían de alejarse o limpiar el lugar para que ayuden a los heridos. Leslie, he should check the vehicle before leaving, que debería de checar su vehículo antes de salir o de partir. Dianita, people have to be more aware and not crowded. Sí, un poco más de precaución y no andar amontonándose, ¿verdad? Eso tenían que andar haciendo. Fernanda, I think he must have to drive slower. Ok, muy bien. Fer, aquí hay un pequeño error. Después de have to, el verbo va en su forma infinitiva, drive. Entonces, tu oración quedaría, I think he must to drive slower. No va conjugado el verbo. Recuerden, después de los modal, tienes que escribir el verbo en forma infinitiva. Gracias, Fer. Sergio, the bus driver should not increase the speed in the curve. Muy bien, Sergio. Nada más no olvides que tus oraciones al principio deben de iniciar con mayúscula. And to be, people should use other transport services. Gracias, Rubí. Así es. Bueno, chicos, con eso estamos haciendo la revisión de los modal verbs should, must, and have to. Les vamos a dejar aquí algunas de las actividades que pueden realizar y que encontrarán en el Classroom. Por ejemplo, pueden elegir un escenario como un museo, hospital, escuela o aeropuerto y redactar un pequeño texto utilizando la información vista por los videos acerca de qué deberían, qué no se debe y qué sugieren hacer en cada lugar. After that, you can answer a formulario, a quiz, que lo tienen en el mismo Classroom. Todas estas sources, estas fuentes que les dejamos aquí, son para que ustedes puedan reforzar sus conocimientos. Les dejamos también cómo pueden ustedes entrar a Classroom y ver todas estas actividades. And that's all, folks. Esto es todo por nuestra parte. Sin embargo, para concluir, tenemos algo muy divertido para ustedes. Vamos a jugar Kahoot. Es un juego que los chicos se divierten mucho y practican sus conocimientos. My dear student, we are going to play now Kahoot. Are you ready to this?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. Okay. You have the pin here in the screen. The number is 4, 7, 9, 8, 8, 3, 4. Okay, we are waiting to our players. Come on, Sergio. Welcome, Sergio. Rafa, Leslie. Hello, Gabriel. Ruby's here. Andy. Vale. Diego, hello. Hello, Diego. Ángel. Okay, nobody else? Well, we are going to start. So, ready, go. Modals. 2, 1, go away. Question number 1, what's your teacher's name? Good question. Okay, come on. The winner is, in this question, Sergio. Very good, Sergio. The next one. True or false? We can use modal verbs for deduction, guessing, or suggestions. True or false? Okay, oh, you paid attention. Very good. Sergio, very good, Sergio. They are always followed by an infinitive without to. Think. Very good. 2 mistakes. Okay, Sergio. Very good. Have to is used for advice or making questions. Oh, make questions. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Come on. You didn't pay attention. Okay, Diego. Should is used to express a strong obligation. True or false? Oh, come on. And the last question is, must to make a logical deduction of personal opinion. Okay, we are going to check who will be the winner. In the third place, Gabriel. In the second place, Sergio. And the winner is Diego. Thank you very much, Diego. And thank you to all of you. Muchísimas gracias a todos por su atención. Ellos fueron los alumnos del CBT Isidro Pavel Alfaro y CBT 2 de Naucalpan. Hello, bye bye.
See you later, teacher.
Bye.
See you later. See you soon. Bye bye.
Bye, teacher.